Welcome once again to the new Spanish Academy. This is another Spanish freestyle lesson. What does it mean? It means that I freestyle a lesson. It's not prepared, and you will see how I freestyle a lesson. If you haven't seen this before, I just came up with these lessons because sometimes I start teaching people things, or I hear a word in Spanish from a video and I'm like, this would be a good word to translate. Or maybe I hear a word in another language and I'm like, in Spanish this would be a very cool phrase to translate, and then I imagine myself in my head explaining it and I'm like, I should do this, and then I forget it once I get home and I'm like, what was that amazing phrase I wanted to talk about? So then I just realized, you know what, since I always forget to write it down, I'm just gonna turn up the video and start freestyling a lesson. Alright, so this is Spanish freestyle lesson, and today's fabulous, legendary expression is when you mess it up, alright? When you F up. So I normally, refrain from teaching bad words, at least so far. But this is something that translates to, let's say I messed up. We're gonna show you how to say he messed up or I messed up right now, past tense, present tense, and different people saying it. But literally what you are saying is I shit it, I shit on it, or I shat it, right? Past tense, right? That's how it sounds. So if you're learning Spanish and you hear somebody said I shit it, the situation, I think you can understand what that means, because I guess, what can it be? It makes sense, right? But what if you are talking about the game with your Latin American friends or Spanish friends, and you are just starting to speak Spanish with them, and you say la cagaron, so they shat it, they messed it up, they lost. All right. Or if I say la cagué, that's I shat it, I messed it up. All right. And if I'm talking to you, is la cagaste, that's you. And he la cagó, and that's us, that's they, sorry. La cagaron, they messed it up, and we la cagamos. All right, so this is past tense. All right, la cagué, la cagaste, la cagó, la cagamos, la cagaron. And we're gonna make it smaller because I'm gonna give you examples on present tense. All right, so this is of course past tense. So right here, past. If past is to the left, then present is to the right. All right, it's like this. All right, present tense, la cago, la cagas, la caga, la cagamos, la cagan. All right, so that's they. What about if we want to say vosotros? Then is la cagas, la cagasteis. In present tense, it's la guys. What kind of a lesson is this? You shit on it, you shat on it, they shat on it. Not nice. But this is one of the things that everybody actually normally say it. It's quite common, you know. So it's not something that you hide from your parents so they don't hear you say it, okay? So that's why I'm teaching you this. It's like in Swedish when they say it's shit good. In this case, the word shit means shit, but for the context is always meaning very. So in Swedish, when you say it's shit good, it means it's very good. It's shit lots, it means very lots. You know, many. All right. Just in case we have any Swedish people in the audience, or in case you want to learn Swedish, or in case you are learning Swedish, or you know Swedish, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so different languages sometimes have words that in other languages might be just bad words, but in some cases they are quite common. All right, so anyways, we have past tense, la cagué, I messed it up, I effed up, right? La cagaste, you messed up, you effed up. All right, la cagó, he or she, la cagó, messed up. Past tense, all right? And here's la cago, la cagas, la caga. Present tense, we usually know it happens when it has already happened. That's why I'm showing you past tense. All right, now let's say you are gonna be doing something in front of public, theater, presentation, and whatnot. So you might say something like, no la quiero cagar. I don't wanna shit it. I don't wanna mess it up. You can also say, no quiero cagarla. Alright? Basically, it is the same. I mean, if you've gone through my general course, you see that we can express this similarly by changing la either here, no la quiero cagar, or no quiero cagarla, or it can be no la quiero ver, or no quiero verla. I don't want to see her or it, right? Or no la quiero ver, no la quiero ver. Maybe we're talking about a movie, la película, or esa película, that movie, right? No la quiero ver. Esa película no la quiero ver. I don't want to see it, all right? So, just so you know that we can change la from here to here, and it means exactly the same. No la quiero ver, no quiero verla, and it is just 50%, 50-50, meaning that I can sometimes say this and then sometimes say this just as many times. It's not that this one is common, this one is like old school. It's not like that. Or like in some countries they say this version, in some countries they say this version. It's not like that, all right? It's one of those cases where both are arbitrary, all right? Okay, so no la quiero cagar. I don't want to mess it up. No quiero cagarla. You see what I did? I said it, then I go back, I go down and add something else, teach you something else. By that time you forget it, but then we delete that and then we come back here, and that's how you remember things, by going back to it. All right, so instead of taking a phrase or a word that you're learning in Spanish and repeating it 10 times, no la quiero cagar, no la quiero cagar, no la quiero cagar, no la quiero cagar. What you do is maybe you repeat a new word or phrase 3 times, then do something else and come back 5 minutes later and repeat it 3 times, and then do something else and come back 3 minutes later, repeat it 3 times, then do something else and come back an hour later and repeat that process a couple times. And that's much better than one time repeating something 20 times, because then you think you're done, you did good, and then a week passes and you don't remember it, and you are like, oh, okay. A month passes and you repeat the same process instead of doing what I told you to do. 3 times, then later after 5 minutes 3 times, then later after 5 minutes 3 times, then an hour passed 3 times, 5 minutes 3 times, an hour 3 times, and so on. You repeat that process a couple times, total of 10, let's say. That's how you remember. And let's go back to this one. 3rd time, no la quiero cagar, no quiero cagarla. Another one is la vas a cagar. You're gonna shit it. You're gonna mess it up. Te lo juro. All right, te lo juro. I think this could be could have been a phrase for a video, but now that I said it, I'll jump it. So te lo juro, I promise you. Te lo juro, la vas a cagar. I promise you, you're gonna mess it up. Or you can say te lo juro que La vas a cagar. Or maybe you're negative about yourself and you're just, shy or embarrassed. And then you say, te lo juro que la voy a cagar. That means I will mess it up. La vas a cagar is you will mess it up. All right. And of course, you might be wondering, what about he or she? Then we say, te lo juro que la va a cagar. All right. He will mess it up. All right. Okay. Now we go to another past tense, and I tell you something like te dije, I told you. Te dije que, I told you that. Te dije que I told you that la iba a cagar, that I was gonna mess it up. Or te dije que la ibas, that you were gonna. So iba is I was gonna, ibas is you were gonna. Remember, past tense oftentimes you add the s. For example, voy, I will, or I go, vas. Quiero, quieres. Como, I eat, comes, you eat. See the pattern? Second person, usually you add an s at the end, and third person, usually you take away. Quiere is he or she, come is he or she eats. Alright? But if you want to go into detail, we have the verb course where I take one verb and I just go through the whole thing. I take the most important tenses. There's like 14 or 15, 16, 17 tenses in total in Spanish. And I go through the, 7 tenses, I guess. And we see all tenses, past tense, future tense, present tense, conditional, and all of them. And for each verb, and then each person, and give you tons of examples in each tense. All right. So if you want to go get more in depth into verbs, you know the way I teach. Maybe it's not for everybody, but for you, if you are here still right now, that means my style fits you. And if it does, then it's great because I have, the content that's gonna lead you to a lot of knowledge. So anyways, te dije que, I told you that. La ibas a cagar. You were gonna mess it up. So let's say you are rooting for your country, but you know that your country just sucks. And after they lost, you're gonna tell your countryman friend and say, I told you they were gonna mess it up. And you add an N. La iban. They were gonna. Remember that ibas is you were gonna mess it up. Iban is they were gonna. Okay, mess it up. Alright. So you can say no quiero cagarla. Present tense. No la quiero cagar. Remember present tense. Sorry, not present tense. Present tense is quiero. Cagarla. Cagar is infinitive. Anyways, past tense. La cagué. We can also say la cagué. If I say, for example, te dije que. Alright, this is interesting. What happened? Te dije que la cagué. Now what's the difference between this? Te dije que la iba a cagar, that's me. I was gonna I was gonna mess it up. And here, te dije que la cagué. Now, here is I was gonna do it. I told you. I didn't know it was gonna happen, but I was sure it was gonna happen. And now it happened. Alright. And then you say, hey, la cagué. I messed it up. And he said, what? And you reply, te dije que, I told you that, I messed it up. But in this case, it's already happened. So you already know. So iba is I was going to mess it up. Alright? So So you can say, for example, he was in the process, or I was in the process. You can say la estaba cagando. I was in the process of shitting, ando, ando. Pero, it means but. No la cagué. I didn't share it. Alright? Anyways, not the most polite diplomatic lesson, but you know, this is something that you're gonna hear very often by people, regular people. And this is La Nueva Academia Español, the new Spanish Academy. We teach you what you need to know. We teach you things that you learn in real life. And this is just another magical lesson from the Spanish Freestyle lesson catalog. Okay? So, thanks a lot. Check us in our next videos. Remember, we have the general course and we have the verb course. Craziness. And of course, we have the drills. Nos vemos en el próximo video. Esto es la Nueva Academia de